In this video, I'm going to show you how to make two sanding paper blocks like these. How I put these together is fairly simple. So what I did is I took a piece of plank like this. This is an old piece of plywood, or not plywood, pallet wood actually. From the side, I just made a bit of a groove. I did this with the router table, just grooved it all the way through, and I'll explain the purpose of that in a moment. In the middle, I drilled two holes and I put two threaded inserts into that nut. In the top side, I basically took another piece of pallet wood like this. It's only a slight bit narrower. The idea is that it fits into that groove, a slight bit loose. Also, these two holes were drilled into the top piece of wood like this. And then to attach the top and the bottom part, I simply used one of these homemade bolt knobs, which I've got a video in the description below if you want to see how I made these as well. I put two, one with a washer each, just to reduce the friction a bit. And this simply comes on top of the bottom one and then screws into place like this. Now, I've made two of these, only in two different sizes. This is obviously the smaller one, exactly the same principle, only a smaller size of this jig or of this sandpaper holder, just to make it a bit easier. Now, how I assemble these is I basically take a piece of sanding paper. There's two different ways that I'm going to show you now. Either way would work just fine. With the block on top like this. Fold the sanding paper over in the length like that for the one example. Put the piece of the sander, the top part, on like that. Take the two bolt knobs, insert them into the holes like this, and simply tighten them. And I doubt whether it can get easier than that. Now, as you'll see in the end, due to the groove that's in the bottom part, the sandpaper pinches between the top and the bottom part into that groove as well, which causes the sandpaper not to slip when you use this jig basically to hold the sanding paper while you're sanding. Now, the second way is very similar. Also, I just want to show you that in the sides of the top part, I just made a slight groove. You can see from the sides better. And this is just so there's a bit more grip to hold it while sanding. Now, the other one is going to be fairly the same. Only difference is that this time the sanding paper is coming over from the side and not in the length. And once again, put the sanding paper over, put the block on top like that, and then simply just put in the bolt knobs or the bolts with knobs like this. Tighten them both down. And you've got it. Once again, you'll see it pinches the points of the sanding paper on those edges that were grooved into the bottom part, so this cannot slip. So this is very steady when you want to go sanding something. So those are the two methods that I used to attach them, and it's quite easy to release and to replace as well. You basically just loosen the two knobs like this, one on each side, take out the piece of sanding paper, put in another piece, and you're ready to go again. So it's a quick interchangeable thing, and you can make them in different sizes depending on what type of sanding paper you want to put on them, different grids, different types for different material, and it all works just as well.